The first question from the past papers related to the quadratics is this one, asking to express 2x squared minus 12x plus 7 in the form a times x plus b all squared plus c, where a, b, and c are constants. If you look at this formula, you see that this represents the vertex form for the quadratic equations, or you can say it represents completing the square form of quadratics. Therefore, it's possible to change this form of the quadratic equation to this form. How to do that? The method is like this. You are going to consider the first and the second terms only in order to get this new form. However, before doing the change in the quadratic formula, it's very important to look at the leading coefficient. So here the leading coefficient is 2. If the leading coefficient is not exactly 1, then you need to make it 1. It cannot be below or above 1. It should be exactly 1. Then how to make this number 2 1? The technique is by taking this number 2 as a common factor out of the first and the second terms. Therefore, only x squared will be left here, then minus. This is 12. 12, it's like 2 times 6. When you take out 2 as a common factor, then only 6 will be left. Then you can close the square bracket. Then we have plus 7. Okay, now we have changed the form of the quadratic equation to this new form by taking out 2 as a common factor. And we did this in order to convert it to the completing the square form. Now we can say that this can be further simplified. So looking into the two terms inside the square bracket, we can directly change them to this form. Open a parenthesis in a square form. Then take the square root of x squared and you write it down at here. And then look at the coefficient of this x, which is negative 6, and divide it by 2. Negative 6 by 2, it's negative 3. You write it at here. Then at the outside of this parenthesis, it's very important and it's necessary to subtract the square of this new term, this new number. So the new number generated here is 3. You just take its square. Even if it's negative 3 or positive 3, doesn't matter, because when you take the square of the negative 3, still becomes positive 9. So it converts to positive. Okay, then you can close the square bracket, and then we have plus 7 at the outside. And then you need to further simplify. Have x minus 3 all squared, then negative 3 squared. 3 squared is 9, so we have minus 9 and plus 7. If you look at this simplified form, you can compare it to that given in the question, but still is not exactly similar to that given in the question. In order to get this form, you need to further simplify. So further simplification is by multiplying this number by each term. 2 times x minus 3 all squared, then 2 times negative 9 is negative 18, then plus 7. Then equals to 2 times x minus 3 all squared, then negative 18 plus 7 is negative 11. Now you see that this is almost similar to that given in the question. By comparison, you can say that C represents negative 11, A is 2, and B is negative 3. Therefore, finally, you can say, therefore, the leading coefficient A is 2, and B coefficient is negative 3, and the C coefficient is negative 11. That's all.